Alafia, Alafia family. Once again, we're meeting here with the introduction to Ifá Cosmology. This is the introduction to Ifá Cosmology. My name is Baba Obanjoko Ifá Shetan. Baba Obanjoko Ifá Shetan, the spiritual evolutionary. The spiritual evolutionary. I want to start off today, as we always do, with giving reverence to Ishu. And for those of you all who aren't familiar with what Ishu is the Orisha, or the deity that opens the road and opens the way for us. So we traditionally give salute to Ishu to open our road, to open our way, and to carry the communication. So, for 1 minute, we will give reverence to Ishu. Eshuo, Ilegbago, Eshuo, Ilegbago, Ilegbara, Maforebale, Ilegbago. Ishu, open the road. Ishu, it is you that has the red hat upon the head that is missing. Open the road and open the way so that every word that is said shall be clear. Everyone that receives every word shall listen carefully. Open the road, Ishu, and open the way for the information to be departed very well. In the name of Olodumare, in the name of Ifá, we give thanks. We ki Ishu, we ki Ishu, we ki Ishu, we ki Ishu. Okay, so let us get started. I want to open up by giving a brief recap of what we covered on the last class. In the last class, we talked about spirituality before religion. Spirituality before religion. And just to briefly overview, we understood that our ancestors, our great ancestors, put spirituality before religion of any kind. And the reason why they did this is because their major objective, the major objective of our great ancestors was the number one thing, was survival. And in order to survive, they had to come into harmony and balance with nature. So that was the major objective of our great ancestors. Over any type of concept of religion, it was spirituality, coming in harmony, coming into balance with nature. Today, we will go deeper. We will go deeper today. And what we will be discussing today is the basics of how our ancestors observed and looked at life. How the ancestors observed and looked at life through the principles of cosmology. Through the principles of cosmology. Our ancestors used universal, or learned to use universal laws of cosmology. They learned, as we said earlier, our ancestors observed, documented, and studied universal laws. For example, let's talk about the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence. The universal law of correspondence. Which means that everything outside of me or us is a result of what comes from within. Let me say that again. Everything that we picture or everything that we see outside of us is a factor of what is going on within us. We use various terms for that, like so within, so without. So within, so without. What we think and the balance of our consciousness, our ancestors understood very well that that's what manifests in our environment. I am because we are because I am is symbolic of the law of correspondence. I am because we are because I am. I cannot be without the community. I cannot exist in harmony and balance without the universe. We cannot exist without the multiverses. All of the multiverses and the universe is part of us as we're part of it. So, in actuality, we are one with all. In actuality, we are one with all. Now, where am I going with this? So above, so to below. So above, so to below. What is up must come down, okay? So we have to grow into the understanding that your environment, which is difficult for many of us to admit, your environment is coming and emanating from you, because it is you, the observer, that looks at the environment. Where am I going with this? Our ancestors observed, studied, documented their environment. They looked to the stars. They charted the stars. They observed and interacted with the cosmos. The patterns, the signs, the symbols. What I'm talking to you about right now is how our great ancestors gave birth to civilization, which is where we must go back to. Remember, spirituality before religion. I said spirituality must come before religion. We have to keep it clean. And how do we do that? We keep it clean by doing the same things that our ancestors did. Grow into the knowledge and the wisdom. Study the principles of cosmology. Study the principles of correspondence. Observe the principles of correspondence and make that a permanent part of your life. Make that a permanent part of your life. Observe and interact. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to cycles. Pay attention to the numbers. The universe is mathematical. The universe is mathematical. Now, why do I say that the universe is mathematical? The binary system itself is based upon darkness and light. When we say binary, we're talking about the choice between two. Binary, B-I, bi means two. So it's the choice, the fundamental choice is between darkness and light. The same identical thing that creates all matter. This is where it is positive and negative that creates friction, vibration, and synergy. So understand that our ancestors back again were concerned not about religiosity, if there's such a word. They were more concerned about growing into a deeper understanding of what it took to look at the stars, how the stars, what was the pattern of the stars, how the stars ran across the sky. That was important. They followed signs. They followed symbols. They looked at mathematical balance and equation. Not even the way that we may look at it today in terms of mathematical equations that you write down from an algebraic standpoint, or in algebra or trigonometry or in calculus. Those things came later. The foundation of mathematics is what? Duality. The foundation of all math, Remember the last session? If you've gotten to take a look at it, from the unknown comes what? Comes duality. From duality, we get our card point. And no matter what pantheon, no matter where you might have gone to school, that is the order of all creation. Everything came into existence in exactly that same way. From the unknown, strictly unknown, thus something appeared, singularity. From singularity is everything that we know and everything that we ever will know. From singularity came duality. From the darkness came the light. From the darkness came the light. Ashe? And then each darkness and light still gave forth duality. So two on this side, two on this side gives you the cardinal points. I'm stressing the cardinal points now. So it was from the observations and the interactions that our ancestors laid the cornerstones of the development of all civilization. This is what gave foundation to the later laws that we have, such as the law of the 42 negative confessions that the ancients lived by. That in actuality, that all societies now in some shape or form have grafted their societies from. The basic laws that came from the initial observation and the experience, the learning and experiences that our ancestors gave to us, the foundation of creation. How do we look at creation? How do we envision ourselves in connection to the whole? How do we react and how do we behave in a communal setting? All of these things came from our great ancestors and their observation of the skies, of the earth, and of themselves. They understood that all was one and one was all. In the name of Olodumare, in the name of Ifá, Ashe. Also, I want to mention something very important. Has to do with the makeup of man or woman, the makeup of people. All people, this is in direct relationship to the law of correspondence. All people are made up of three basic things: mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and number one, spirit. We're shaped by heredity, the environment that we're in, and the activity, the things that we do on a daily basis. So all of us have a body, a mind, and a spirit. We become who we are through our inheritance, what we get from our mother and father, through our experiences that we have or as we interact through life, and the activities that we share. There is something, I should say, very important for you to know. And I would be amiss if I did not say this part before I close. All of those things, none of those things, environment, heredity, activity, the mind, none of those things supersede the spirit, consciousness. This is why scientists are even now discovering that it is through the conscious thought and the words that are said that you can change any condition. People with fourth stage cancers are being healed now by vibration. Your thoughts are vibration. Your words are vibration. And it sets the stage for anything that is in your body. Your body listens to what your mind is constantly saying or what is coming out of your mouth. Anything is possible to be changed. Your whole body is 99% water. And water listens to vibration. Prayer, a study was done where prayer was done over water in one container, and then over the other container, curses were done. Of the other container, once it
5
froze,
minutes, Baba.
okay, the water froze. In the prayer, you had crystals. In the curses, in the container with the water with curses, you had crude and ugly formations. So understand, I want to leave with this. I want to close by saying this. Our ancestors worked and our ancestors observed and our ancestors interacted. There is order in the universe, and we must work to understand and grow into a greater understanding of that divine order within the universe so that we may understand our path of destiny. This is what our ancestors did. On the next session, we'll be going into more details on the actual laws, as such as the laws of Ifá and the laws of the 42 laws of confession. We'll be going into the laws that came out of our ancestors' observation of the universe. Ashe? So in the name of Olodumare, in the name of Ifá, I give you thanks for the time that you've spent with me. Have a good day and be blessed. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Odabo.
Before everybody go, we will have class on the 19th, not next Sunday. So we'll regather on the 19th.
Ashe.